Hello, everybody, and welcome to Wanted for January 4th, 2025. Sorry for my lag in talking. My mental processor is starting to fail. This is season 2, the first episode of 2025. We're not really going by that anymore, but we do say that it's the January 4th episode. But it end 2025. So when you go over to YouTube, it's going to be under the Wanted 2025 playlist. I am Mayor Watt. I run ohmtown.com. I created ohmtown so that I could manage my information overload. I've actually been using it personally for more than 10 years. And then I made it available, well, actually closer to 15 years. And then I made it available 4 years ago today, basically, and made it available to the public. It has 6 main categories, 47 channels right now. I took 3 offline as we rejigger them. And along with the sentient AI from the future, we talk about news. And in Wanted, it's about gadgets and gear. We've got 7 shows, 6 that are weekly and 1 that is daily. And on the weekends, we take RealityHacker, this show called Wanted, and the show after this one called the Continuity Report, which is all about entertainment news. And we bundle them together to create the weekend edition of Non Sequitur News, which is the daily show. Mainly because news is kind of generally weak on the weekends, which is kind of ironic. It's a different weekends. Get it? Weekends. At any rate, we've selected 5 articles. How about the highest rated hardware, bendable 5K OLEDs, a wall tablet from Apple, possibly, Lego to buy in 2025, and aim this projector. Everything's powered by ohmtown.com, so go over there and become a citizen. See you on the other side. Hello, sentient AI from the future.
Hello, Mayor Watt, and hello, hometown citizens.
Thanks for co-hosting with me. Let's get into the 5 articles. First article is over at WarCrafters. Just so that we have full disclosure, we don't grab the images from any page. It gets provided by the source, and we don't include the images even if they provide it. But this is the PC Gamer's highest rated hardware favorites of 2024 plus 5 dishonorable mentions as according to PCGamer.com. Jess Kinghorn put the article together. The deck statement says a wealth of tech breezed past our coveted 90% review score, but plenty also went down in infamy this year. Again, this is over at PCGamer.com, gets aggregated into ohmtown. Just that little snippet. We don't do screen scraping or anything like that. It's all provided by the source. So they say, to paraphrase an absolute belter from Andrew WK, we here at PC Gamer do what we like and like what we do. I agree. I like what I'm doing. I hope you like it too. So they talk about either way, that means it takes a lot for any hardware to nab a review score of 90 or more from PC Gamer, and only 30 different bits of kit manage to do just that. So the 30 hardware hits mean that they've enjoyed 5 or more favorites than last year, though 2024's extra candidates are really something special. So they go through this list, but I won't go through all of them. I'll encourage you to head on over to PC Gamer and check it all out. But let's scroll through these because they don't have them like consolidated. By the way, TP-Link is probably going to get banned from the United States. It already is in many cases. Do they actually talk about it? Not really.
No, unless they do later on in the article.
Interesting. For just one very honorable mention, we would have thought that we'd award a solid 92 to a Wi-Fi router of all things. Well, the TP-Link Archer GE800 doesn't just deliver great performance, but I thought that TP-Link is getting banned.
It's looking like that will happen.
So let's it just did it again. We're dropping packets. anyway, it was everything was fine for a little while, and I don't know what's going on, but it's not from us. It's somewhere in between. Anyway, they talk about SteelSeries Arctis Game Buds, the Shure MV7 Plus podcast microphone, ADATA SD810 1 terabyte external SSD, Asus ROG, the Republic of Gamers Zephyrus G16 2024.
That one got a lot of attention, right?
This
Isn't
one?
that like the best buy for your buck for gaming?
The 16-inch gaming laptop is a thing of beauty, so much so that they wanted nothing more than to rub their face all over the gorgeous OLED screen and aluminium chassis. Let me correct myself. Instead, allow them to take a brief tour through the specs. It has an RTX 4070 GPU, nor the AMD. It's not just the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4070 GPU, nor the AMD Ryzen AI HX 370 CPU, but the spare NVMe slot that makes the storage sickos heart sing. I'm one of those storage sickos. And so on and so forth. So, yeah. We talked about this.
We did.
Then the MSI MPG 321 URX QD OLED. And you know what? I'm willing to bet that we talked about a lot of this. Anyway, this is Wanted. That's what this show is about. Gadgets and gear. And
I think the one with scariest name is Razer Death Adder Hyperspeed.
yeah, they do that kind of stuff over there at Razer. So exclamation point want will give you all of today's show notes for this show. If you type in bang RH, that'll be RealityHacker, and bang TCR for the continuity report will give you the next show's links. But we've got all of this all set up so that you can just click a link, go over to ohmTown, read the little snippet, and if it piques your curiosity, you can do the next thing. And I'm just going to move on to the next article because I can't go through all of this. This is basically a show all by itself. I mean, 30 products here.
Exactly.
There's so many in here that I want that I'm probably going to be broke by the time the show ends if I were to buy it all. I'm always on board.
That would be interesting to tally up all of those.
Oh yeah, I mean $300 for headphones, $100 for gaming light kits. There's at least 2 chairs in this, although this says here it's only 2 stars. Review the Blacklight Kraken gaming chair. It's not just the name that's creaky with questionable build quality too. This is must be one of the fallen, the 5 lowest.
The lowest. Okay, yeah. I was like, why is this in here?
The Lexip Sasuke Revenge Naruto Shippuden headset. Not very comfortable.
But again, these
to
are
wear.
the low scoring ones. Yeah.
And uncomfortable to wear, difficult to use, sharp microphone design. Wow. MSI Titan 18. 4, it has a good screen and it says it's spec to the guns. I'm not sure what that really means. That turn of phrase I've never heard before. Anyway, it says it's the loudest laptop that the author had ever heard. Eye-wateringly expensive. 4K results are disappointing. Worrying build quality issues, and a keyboard and trackpad that are awful.
Wow.
Dear God, selling me on it. And then the X-Real Air 2 and Beam, which that's a specialized bit of kit that unless you're really into this, it's not going to make any sense to you. It says, yeah, picture this. Your own private portable cinema experience anytime, any place. It's a compelling fantasy, isn't it? Now with a healthy dose of reality, wires, too many wires, which they've actually, it's really not that bad, but you do have to futz around with a lot of crap, particularly with the X-Real Air 2 and having the Beam. This actually acts as your interface to gain access to other functionality that isn't embedded on the device. These actually just act as a screen, but the X-Real's next iteration, the 1 and the 1 Pro, do away with the beam, are powered by the USB-C cable. It's one cord. The only problem is that you still need to be hooked up to something. And so while it is spatial computing, it isn't like an Apple Vision or the Meta glasses or anything like that. But you don't have to worry about the puck and all of that kind of stuff either. But you're still connected to something. You're not cord cutting anything. But we'll be getting into that later on in 2025 because I actually have the X-Real 1 Pros coming. And I'll be giving demonstrations talking about that kind of stuff because I'm going to be trying to replace 3 monitors with just the X-Real 1 Pros come March. And then they talk about the Logitech Wave keys, which looks like it wants to be an ergonomic design, but the only way you can get true ergonomic in terms of keyboard is a split keyboard. Yep. So I thought that there were going to be more. It's just actually 5 at the top, and then some other products, and then 5 at the lowest side, not 30. But they have a bigger list here. Let me scroll back up. So they say that those 30 hardware hits mean that they've enjoyed 5 more favorites than last year, and these are the 5. So
they also have a link in there to more favorites up near the top.
Yeah, these are the last year. So go and check it out.
Oh, right. Okay.
Okay, let's keep on moving though. I'm always looking for, displays. I really like, and since there's a couple of things that you really need to purchase quality, and beyond the keyboard, which I think that should be a split keyboard, it's your displays. This is interesting because it's a bendable 5K OLED.
I didn't even know 5K was out on the market.
There's 8K. There's actually super high resolution.
That's true, but you only see 4K and 8K.
Yeah, 5K actually. There's an Apple 5K display that is made by LG, but injected into the build process of Apple's product. So it's their LG's screen, but it's an Apple product. So as is tradition, LG is announcing several of its new OLED monitors before CES 2025 kicks off. This is on Monday is CES. The new Ultra Gear GX9 series all feature curved WOLED panels, WebOS, and an anti-glare low reflection coating that make them pleasant to look at wherever your desk is stationed. So let's go over to Engadget. That's where this is sourced from. Ian Carlos Campbell over at Engadget.com put the article together. And they talk about this screen here. My main displays are curved, but they're not 45-inch displays. It's a 45-inch 5K, 2K bendable screen that can move from completely flat to a 900R curve within seconds. You just grab the edges and pull.
That's pretty crazy.
To me, it's just plain nutty. I don't know why you would bother doing that. Because we see in an arc. And so there's no reason why you would have a perfectly flat screen. Because if you turn your head, seeing something that's flat at an angle actually has different angle of attack on the graphics. But
historically, a lot of monitors have been flat or relatively flat.
Yeah.
But I agree, why not just set this up as a curved monitor?
Yeah, and be done with it. I wanted to see what this thing actually was. I have seen a previous iteration of this, which I thought was really fascinating, but this is a 45-inch screen, which basically means that it replicates, well, depending on how it actually is situated. It says LG Ultra Gear. That's a 39-inch screen. There's a 45 GX 950A. That is the 45-inch one. It's 21.9. So it's not ultra wide, but it is a wide screen. 32 is the ultra wide. And so depending on its configuration, it can be quite expansive and short. That's ultra wide. This thing, I don't know why you would actually bother bending it though. And then they go on to a different article, but they don't talk about the price in this, do they?
No, they
No.
don't.
I could expect that this thing is like $2,500 or something like that for it to come out.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be inexpensive.
What's really interesting though is that the X-Real 1 Pro that's coming can replicate a massive ultra wide screen. I'll have to check it out and I'll be talking about it again. But I'm hoping that I never have to buy another monitor, because these augmented reality glasses actually allow you to have much more security. They're ultra portable. All you have to do is walk around with whatever device you want to plug them into and a wireless keyboard. And you could sit down in a coffee shop and still interact with other humans, well, with all of humanity around you, without being isolated by VR and without having a complete laptop sitting there. You want to go get a cup of coffee.
Without having swim goggles on.
Yeah. Or having a laptop plugged in. And so the reason why I'm really hot for this kind of stuff is that I'm really interested in security. And I recently took a flight, and sitting in front of me was a doctor, and I knew that because of what I saw on their screen, which I was like astonished. I knew who they were. Actually, no, they weren't doctors. But what I saw was doctor related. So violating HIPAA, and they were an attorney, and it said confidential across it. And meanwhile, the entire back half of the plane could see everything that this numbnuts was displaying.
Right. So something like the X-Real would eliminate that problem.
Correct. Yeah. You just put these on and you have the epitome of security, and you can do all of your typing and everything without anything being revealed, including using a mouse, because you can use it on Android and Apple and any other mini device, mini mobile computing device, as long as it has video out through USB-C. But in lieu of that, then I want a really high quality screen, and that's what you need to spend money on. And as I said at the beginning of this, you want to spend a lot of money on your screen because you're staring at it, 10, 12 or more hours a day, typically. Like, you're not just working, but you're playing on it. And you want a high quality chair that supports you ergonomically. And then you also want to spend, I'd say, a good deal of money on a split keyboard that is robust enough and technologically innovative, like Hall effect switches and things like that. Because, well, after many, many years, you get repetitive strain injuries and carpal tunnel syndrome and stuff like that, and then surgery. And I actually tell a story about a compatriot of mine that is going back under the knife a second time to repair again the carpal tunnel that they're experiencing, which is, when you work in that field, has a deleterious effect on your career stability, because they have to use their hands all day long.
Right. Yeah, that would be a problem. And I mean, in many fields, but in particular.
Yeah. So there you go, folks. Definitely you want to spend money on a good monitor, but don't go into debt to do it. Get what you can afford, save up, and then get something quality. Eventually, you'll come to that wisdom on your own that spending something just to get the job done isn't necessarily good for you. And you'll keep on spending more and more, iteration after iteration of purchase. All right, let's keep on going, though. The next article is over in the Wanted channel. And again, this is all about gadgets and gear that Mayor Watt wants, or the sentient AI wants, or what we feel that our audience would be interested in. I'm very into home automation and technology in general. Apple's reported or rumored, sorry, not reported, rumored wall tablet could be the jolt that this author, not me, might jolt their smart home needs. Smart home gadgets are growing in popularity, but there's still a long way to go for them to be fully functional.
I don't know about that. I think there's a lot of existing tech.
Yeah, I haven't touched a light switch and I don't know how long. Except for places where it's intentionally, the bandwidth just sucks right now. Sorry. So, trying to get my brain back on track. So there are a couple places where I've got a manual light switch, but for the most part, I use motion controllers, motion switches, to turn on lights, turn off lights by voice, dim lights, change things around. I mean, it's pretty brilliant. Turn on TVs and stuff like that. Home automation is pretty much where it's at. And a lot of people go, well, changing the channel isn't that big of a deal. Yeah, well, I mean, we used to get up and manually change channels, but now you've got 250 channels, for crying out loud. You'd be there all day hunting for stuff when you can just tell your TV to change channels. It's kind of brilliant. And even people who eschew technology, once they get a taste of the ease.
Right, they will never go back to like the old school method.
Yeah. So smart home gadgets are growing in popularity. So let's take a look at what pocket-lint.com has to say about it. And Eli Becht. If you need to go get on location, go for it. Sorry about that. Just talking with the sentient AI from the future. So if any company is going to change the author's mind, that's Eli Becht. It's going to be Apple, they say, with a reported upcoming wall control center. Smart homes have always had plenty of issues, whether it's downloading a specific app on their phone or things that just not working correctly, which really is a curse. And it's usually because of patching software and incompatibilities between various devices. Unless you go pure analog, then you're going to have that. But sophistication causes sophisticated problems.
Well, and depending on what you're trying to connect, it's not necessarily the problem with the platform. It might be that the device itself isn't really
100%.
Updated well or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Like a ceiling fan from a well-known company. They figured out what their problems were and issued a second generation controller, but you have to buy an entirely new ceiling fan for it. And so you get spotty at best coverage unless you support, unless you just leave it on. And then you can, because it's in constant communication, you have the ability to control it. But you can always update, right? Because, everybody is a millionaire and can just update everything all the time.
Just reinstall everything and replace things that are barely used.
So I'm not sure that this thing would ever, while I want something like this, I don't see it actually having a place in the Apple ecosystem, mainly because Apple's ecosystem is the iPad and iPhone, Apple Watch, Apple TV. And so and Apple devices in general, which you can control home through any of the mobile devices. So why would this be a new piece of kit unless there's something so specific?
Yeah, maybe it's somehow tied into whatever the Apple smart home features specifically, and it's, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I like the idea of this, but I agree. An iPad presumably would do this.
Yeah, so according to the Bloomberg article that pocket-lint.com found, the tech giant plans to release a 6-inch wall tablet powered by AI, making it the perfect smart home hub as far as the author is concerned. It's likely to be able to control home appliances, perform video calls, navigate apps using AI, and on the surface, it sounds like it would fit their home perfectly, but so would an iPad mini. It is an iPad mini.
Exactly. And actually, maybe Town needs that.
You mean this or an iPad mini?
Like an iPad mini.
Yeah. That can be
Touch
used
screen,
just for
whatever. Yeah.
So it says this device would be a clear competitor to the Amazon Echo or Google Home ecosystems, and it's already a step above Google thanks to the versatile tablet design. Amazon has the Echo Show line, which primarily performs the same type of tasks, so it'll depend. Now, I'm all for another gadget. I want a gadget like this, but for the life of me, I think that you might as well just buy an iPad mini. Because it has the camera, it has the mini doesn't have the M chip yet, but the normal iPad Air and the iPad and iPad Pro do, but the mini does not. Not this year, or I should say, not last year. They just released the one that has A15 chip, and it does have some of the features, but it's not the efficiency of the M chip. We'll see. They talk about price. They hope that Apple doesn't get too crazy. And they talk about the Vision Pro, which is so apples and oranges that I don't know why it would be included in this.
Exactly. Well, it's more apple than orange.
Yeah, that's very funny. Very Apple, I suppose. Anyway, they talk about this being part of the HomeKit line, but I think if anything, this is a discussion that they're having at Apple. What is the feasibility of this? If anything, what they're talking about is an iPad mini. This is an iPad mini.
So maybe they'll put out marketing like you need an Apple iPad mini to put on your wall.
Yeah, basically. Because
and
you don't
I actually agree with that. You don't want somebody walking around with the thing controlling everything in the location. If other people need to access it.
I would like to be able to grab it off the wall, though. By the way, all Apple mobile devices, you can make them the hub, and it explicitly tells you to leave this device in your home.
But you might not want to make everybody in control of the hub.
Only I control. Okay, let's move on. The next article is over in the mobile channel. There is so much new Lego that you can buy this January. What's funny about this, and I'm not the one that chose these articles. I selected them from the selection that was provided. So just moments before we did the Time Machine episode, somebody posted a video about an outrageously expensive, in their opinion, Lego kit. So new year, new me, not me. Gizmodo is Gizmodo is where this article was taken from. Or provided by, I should say, because we don't take it from them. Like I said in the other show, we don't screen scrape. It's all provided by the sources. So new year, new me, new means of finding shelf space for all this Lego. And the article is by James Whitbrook over at gizmodo.com. I want this, and I don't even know what the hell that is.
It looks like it might be Star Wars. No. Or maybe their creator series.
What is that? What the hell? Okay, we'll just go through this. So James Whitbrook over at gizmodo.com put the article together. We don't read these articles before the show starts, so our reaction is the authentic reaction to the news that we're getting. But this is wanted, and all I want is all of this. All of these. Everything. There's a slideshow. Lego icon. What the hell? Let me turn that down a little. There's some weird background music. Anyway, January is traditionally one of the biggest months for Lego calendar year in terms of sheer quantity of new sets releasing, whether it's across the brickmaker stalwart lines like City, Creator, Dreams, Monkey Kid? What is Monkey?
I've not heard of that line.
I've never heard of Dreams or Monkey Kid. Creator and City for sure.
Yeah,
and more.
Blue and yellow sets.
Wow. Lego Star Wars. Bunch of Lego stuff that's branded to various IP. So let's see here. This says Lego Icons sets. So what is this one? Is this, what is that? Tudor Corner, a $230 Lego Insider accessible now kit. General release is today.
This is a modular city building. It's not a specific,
Oh, really?
um, yeah. These are other sets that are available that are listed.
This says that it's adults focused. Icons series is starting the year strong with some major releases, including the latest modular city building, including inspired by historical British architecture and something to tickle the nostalgia centers of any space fan. With the return of the villainous Blacktron, dun dun dun, and a bunch of other stuff. So, Blacktron Renegade, $100, Fountain Garden. So, what is the average cost estimated?
Usually you can get about 100 pieces for $10.
Okay. So the person was talking about the fact that there's a kit out there that basically was $12. Wait. Yeah, $12 per 100.
That's actually about on par.
I mean, with inflation and whatever. And they were kind of,
Exactly. And that's just kind of a general go by. So 12 is not out of the realm of possibility, even pre-inflation.
yeah. And that's what I thought too. But they kind of were like, this is outrageously expensive in their opinion and so on. But my counter argument to that is, if you knew the quality the quality control that's in place, the reason why those bricks fit so well together, friction fit alone, is because the tolerances are so tight that when the process causes their QC to fall out of alignment, they get rid of the blanks and they put new molds in place, and they melt it all down and resurface it or create new ones, and it goes back into production
Well,
again.
and Lego bricks can be saved for years and years. Like you can pass them down generations.
Yeah. I mean, it's the Lincoln Logs of the modern era. But my only problem is they're plastic. And so they're releasing nano and microplastics, which
Which is
is,
interesting because they didn't start out as plastic.
what did they start out
But
as?
the current iteration, of course, was plastic. I think they made them as wood toys initially and then converted to plastic. And
Oh,
that's
that's
when they
interesting.
really took on their current form.
Gotcha. I don't remember that. Wow. So Lego Animal Crossing sets, Lego Creator 3-in-1 sets, which are the ones that I really dig because you can change things. So they got Panda Family, Typewriter with Flowers, Space Robot, Playful Cat. Then Lego DC Superheroes, which basically nobody's ever going to buy. No, just kidding. I'm sorry for all you Marvel fans out there. I'm a Marvel fan, not really into DC. Anyway, Superman Mech versus Lex Luthor, Batman and Batmobile versus Mr. Freeze, and Batman Tumbler versus Two-Face and the Joker, and then Lego Disney sets. The stress is a little stiff. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it can really be flowy, although they do sometimes have like materials for capes and other things in Lego sets.
There's too much starch in that. Twirling Ariel, Moana. It's only $10. Wait, how? How in the world are these? There's like 4 pieces. Look at that.
Because there aren't a lot of pieces in that set.
That's pretty cool though for $10. I mean, come on.
Particularly
Moana's,
since it has a Disney princess.
yeah. Moana's Island Fun, Encanto Mini House, Arendelle Frozen Castle. Dude, that's pretty cool. Anna's Sleigh Adventure, Moana's Adventure Canoe, Cinderella, Lego Dreams sets, Z Blob Robot. This is pretty cool stuff. I like this. Lego Jurassic World sets. So you got little tiny dinosaurs. Little Edie T-Rex? Little Edie? Come on now. Dinosaur fossils, Triceratops skull. Then Lego Marvel. Lego Minecraft. Monkey Kid.
Oh, interesting. That looks kind of like the I think it was Kaima. They used to have a line that looked kind of like this, where it'd be like animal inspired
Gotcha.
vehicles, and this looks kind of similar, but that line is discontinued.
Oh, we're going to have to look into this. Monkey Kid. I'm sure it's Monkey Kid. It's just pronounced Monkey Kid, but I like saying monkey. Anyway. Lego Sonic the Hedgehog. This is all IP that already exists somewhere and it's just branded into the Lego Star Wars sets, Lego Mario Kart
I saw
sets,
Grogu go by.
a Grogu with hover pram right there. Yep. Ahsoka's Jedi Interceptor, Acclimator class, assault ship. All right. Yeah, there's some more over there. Go and check it out over at Gizmodo. Let's move on. The next article, we're running late. The next article is over in ohmTown again under the Non Sequitur News channel. You can aim this projector by moving its motion sensing remote around. Oh, and if you didn't catch my drift about all of that Lego stuff, I want all of it. Just put it all in one cart and I'll
That
take
would
it.
be quite a pricey haul because most of those had like 4 listed below the one that was featured.
Don't. Just.